Norman Thomas, 6 times candidate for president on the Socialist Party ticket, said the American people would never vote for socialism. But he said under the name of liberalism, the American people will adopt every fragment of the socialist program.
When this bill is law, 3 strikes and you're out will be the law of the land.
They are absolutely destroying the traditional Western civilization right before our eyes.
And I consider it part of my responsibility as President of the United States to fight against negative stereotypes of Islam wherever they appear.
The intent of the founders, that's what the Supreme Court is supposed to do.
I declare, I'm not going to pay for that wall.
Donald Trump want to protect our nation because he said that if he's in office, he will find the enemy and destroy the enemy.
Welcome to the Abolitionists Roundtable, your all-access pass to the 2016 Red, White, and Blue Conservative Revolution. Join the conversation at 734-822-1600. Now here are your hosts, Del Marsh, Phil Stargell, and Janice Daniels.
All right, good morning. Thank you for joining the Abolitionist Roundtable Talk on Wham Talk 1600. This is your host, Del Marsh. Phil Stargell is in the studio this morning. And the mayor's on assignment again. Hopefully she can call in. But if not next week, well, we're going to be off next week because it's Christmas. But I want to say something that today is not said. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Not happy holiday.
That's right.
Merry Christmas. What we, as a nation, what we celebrate is our Judeo-Christian heritage, and we believe that it was a baby that was brought up and later became the sacrificial lamb for all mankind, for all our sin. And so we're very thankful for that baby being born. Of course, do I believe that on December 25th that he was born? No, I don't. But as a nation, this is what, as a nation, we celebrate. So I must celebrate with my nation, as a nation, and people around the world celebrate. They chose this date to celebrate it, so we're going to celebrate. All right, but here, I want to get into, and again, if you'd like to join the conversation, 734-822-1600. Matter of fact, if you want to visit our website at artofmichigan.com, you can. It's an icon on the side. You can click on it. It'll take you to Wham's Talk 1600, and you can listen to us. You can stream. In addition, this show will be on Monday. It'll be on our YouTube. Go to our website, artofmichigan.com. Go to our YouTube. It's right on the side pillar. Go to our YouTube account, and you can listen to all past shows, and also you can share it with a friend. But, folks, I don't know if you've seen it, but I want to say that it looked like the Obama administration and the state-run media is trying to create a coup against Donald Trump, a coup against the American people. It's not really about Trump. But we voted against Hillary. We voted against the crime family. We voted against Barack Hussein Obama and his agenda. And so they're right now they drumming up all these lies with the state-run media. These lies to create this media coup right now. These lies that it was Russia. That did something. No, the American people seen that Obama said that if you like your insurance, you can keep your insurance. Your insurance is going to go down $2,200. This was a lie. So that was on the ballot. The American people watched him on live, on real time. Watch 4 Americans, is it 5 Americans, Phil? In real time in Benghazi get murdered, get slaughtered, as our government watched them get murdered, watched them get slaughtered in real time. Second, the American people watch this administration and the Democrat Party, watch them arrest a man and lie on this man. Because they said it was a video that was offensive that he made. It was a video. It was a video that he made. Matter of fact, Derek, played soundbite number 104. And this is what Obama said when he went to the UN speaking about that video. But this is a tidbit of what he said.
The future must not belong to those who slander the Prophet of Islam.
That's exactly what he said right there. He didn't say the prophet of Christianity. He didn't say Jesus Christ. Now, this is a self-confessed Christian. That's the funniest thing that I ever heard in my life. Among national and international leaders around the world, he said that you will not say anything about Islam. Nothing. Matter of fact, if you listen to the opening of the show, he said this right here. He said he said it's his responsibility as president of the United States to fight against all negative stereotypes, Phil, of Islam wherever they appear. Okay, so all these things was on the ballot. It's not Russia. It wasn't Russia that was on the ballot. It wasn't Russia that steered anything. It wasn't Russia that made myself and Phil and others vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote necessarily for Trump. I voted against Hillary. I voted against the Democrat Party. And it's my belief that if it wasn't Trump, I don't believe that, and I was a Cruz guy, but I don't believe that Cruz could stand the wows of the Democrat devil right now.
Right.
I mean, because it's on a level that in my lifetime, I've never seen before.
But not only he wouldn't be able to stand up against the Democrats, he had much opposition from the Republicans. They they were actually angry with this guy because he filibustered the budget. He didn't want the budget to go. He was for shutting down the government, but they didn't want that, and they actually it made them. If you remember, he called out Mitch McConnell. You remember that?
Yes.
So the power structure in the Republican Party wasn't much better toward Cruz. So yeah, we voted for Trump. And voted against Hillary.
That's right. We voted for patriotism because I believe that was the last vote. Yeah. I believe that if Trump didn't win or whoever it was, long as it wasn't Hillary, long as it wasn't continuing the Obama administration. Here, let me go on. Let me continue. It wasn't the Russians that manipulated this election. This is all a lie. This is smokes and mirrors. It was Obama that was on it. He made sure that his agenda, his legacy was on the ballot. One other thing he did, he traded 5 top Taliban murdering murderers for a traitor, Phil. For a traitor.
Yes.
And we found out that once he went through the military, he had to go through a military trial. He's been found guilty. Yeah. He was found guilty of treason.
Court martial.
And court martial.
Yeah.
5 top.
And do you know that he has petitioned Obama for a pardon?
Well, this guy, he has about a little bit over 30 days, and within that 30 days, anything can happen. Yeah. I know Kwame trying to get him a pardon too. Matter of fact, did you see what happened in Detroit? They had more votes than they had people that voted.
As a matter of fact, I do have a little something on that. But that's the other thing, that they're making a lot of a fuss about Russia influencing our election. It is not Russia. It is Mexico. It is South America. It is countries in South America that have more influence over our election.
What is it called again? The curly theory. Oh, man. You know what I mean? You're going to have to get into that, have a show on that again, because I want to be involved in that right there. I start looking at, the curly theory. Yeah. This theory is to create a ghetto or
and government funding,
and to create a ghetto
right.
of voters, man, that they can never ever get out of that
right.
plantation,
And
never ever.
And it's going to get worse.
And we can see all around the nation in every neighborhood. Let me tell you something. They realize that once you can raise up and get yourself out of this low income, they know that you getting out of there. First
That's right.
thing you do is you move.
Yeah.
Well, for blacks, sometimes first thing they do is buy a Cadillac, then they move. But, man, you know what? It was always my dad's dream to buy him a Cadillac. My dad never owned a Cadillac at all. My dad caught the bus. My dad saved all his money, man, to be an entrepreneur. My dad worked at Chrysler. I mean, worked hard, and he worked afternoons. So during the day, he can become an entrepreneur. So he saved all his money, man. My dad he didn't drive. My dad left the car at home. My mom didn't even drive.
Wow.
He left the car at home, caught the bus.
Wow.
And saved all his money. And I remember when I was a kid, my dad took me to his big, huge apartment building, and he said, "Son, this is our future right here. Mm-hmm. This is our future." Well, he quit his job a little premature, thinking that was his future. Yeah, he did own a whole bunch of houses, but it didn't take him to the economic status that he thought it would.
Yeah, because
but he did try.
He had opposition from the government. The government, they had an interest in lowering the property values. Yeah. And making sure that some of the people that would have taken an interest in his property for rental purposes, they moved out of Detroit to the suburbs.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you again. Once people can lift themselves out of whatever economic status they are in that middle class, man, first thing they do, they getting out of there. Yeah. They are getting out of there. Yeah. For one, your insurance is lower. Second, man, the petty crime. I had a guy that did, and I know that had a Tahoe, and man, he said the car was broken in, the wheels were stolen 4 times, and he said at that point he had to get his family out of there. I had a lady that house was broken into so many times, she just had to get. She said, "I was tired, I had to get out." But they turn around and they'll tell you that the police in these Democrat-controlled curly neighborhoods, they'll tell you that the police are there and they're unwanted. Well, no, the police are there because in these Democrat ghettos, man, petty people are. They don't have enough field. It's more month than it is money from the government. Exactly. And so at the end, but before that month run out, they out trying to find something so they can keep themselves alive to the end of the month because of government. This is what government has done, and it's created what they call petty crime in these neighborhoods.
Yeah, and it's going to get worse. You know what we talked about, the universal basic income. You've heard.
I've seen that too. Absolutely.
The universal basic income is going to be what is given.
That's right.
Given to
where everybody get the same amount all the way across, and that's what they.
Anytime they say universal and basic, I don't want anything to do.
And second, that's why what they doing is they want to, they somewhat lifting people out of poverty at McDonald's, so they want to pay them $15 an hour, but. What I found out is that they cutting back people hours though.
Yeah,
they giving them they raising the wages in these in some of these fast food, but they cutting back the hours.
Cutting back the hours. It's
and so guess what? You still need the curly effect. You still need to be subsidized because you don't have enough hours.
That's right. And it's always when the government decides that it is them that want to control a facet of the economy, or just the biggest one in the healthcare industry. Every move that the government makes, the businesses and the corporations have to do a counter in order to face up and match up and continue to be a successful have a successful product. So now what you see is when all of the large companies started backing out of Obamacare,
yes,
this is exactly what you saw.
Oh yeah, they abandoning ship.
When they demand that they raise the minimum wage to an outrageous price like $15 an hour before the actual stores can absorb that type of a raise, they're gonna counter it, and who's gonna suffer? Those workers, because the first thing they're gonna do is cut positions, cut jobs. That's the first thing going.
Well, I can tell you, I'm going to try to get back to that it wasn't, again, what this administration and all these liberals out here, all these crybabies, all the ones that's walking around with their puppy, they're rubbing on their puppy because their feelings are hurt. All these ones that got their little teddy bears, and then they get out in the street and they they hollering all kind of they talk about racism. This is bigotry right here. You can't talk about, on one hand, you can't say somebody is racist, but then you the ones that's out there protesting and beating up people and destroying people businesses and destroying people homes and so on and so forth. But here, the other thing, it wasn't Russia. Again, it was not Russia. We're going to get to our calls in just a minute. I want to say again, it was not Russia that influenced the election. It was the American people that influenced the election, and because the American people watched as they were demonized, Phil. We were demonized. American people were demonized as we watched thousands of Muslims bringing them from all across the world to a culture that don't reflect their values. So one, we upset. Like, why would you bring people from all across the world that where they habitat is, they don't even have restrooms. Where their habitat is, they live under Sharia law. They're not able to live under a free constitutional society. Why would you not take them to a place? There's countries out there that identify with their cultures, and they'll be more comfortable with.
And to bear out what you're saying, most of the women that come with them are come into this country using veils and burqas and all of that, and they will fight you if you try to get them to take them off.
That's right.
They want that. So obviously,
I was in the Secretary of State. PC. I watched the lady with her glasses on over her veil take a picture for a driver's license.
No. You mean to tell me they let her?
They let her do it.
Oh no.
They let her do it because if not, CARE was going to come in and say that you violated her constitutional religious rights. Phil, she had glasses on top of it.
That's man.
So anyway, they have a culture. They're being brought to a culture that's not compatible with their values. So American people saw this, and Obama demonized us. That was on the ballot. That was on the ballot. It was not Russia that influenced our election. No. It was the American people. The American people that influenced the election. Second, Obama openly supported Black Lives Matter, the Muslim Brotherhood, and CARE, Planned Parenthood. He had all these groups in the White House. He had every June he celebrated National Homosexual Month. He invited all these groups to sit at the table,
and he put
the White House.
Turned the White House into a rainbow.
And turn the White House into a rainbow. So the American people that have watched all this for 8 years. I know Michelle Obama went on Oprah and said that the people have no hope. The people have been hopeless. Yeah, no, the people now have hope.
Yeah.
Now the people are optimistic. Here, let me get to a call, Phil. We're going to continue this because we need to deal with this right here because we know it was not Russia. Russia didn't influence the election.
No.
So well, here, let's just say it was the Clinton crime family themselves that took in billions of dollars from foreign countries all around the world, and American people watched this. They watched this, they heard about this, and they was wondering, Phil, what kind of influence are these people going to have over the Clinton crime family? Am I on the right track, Phil?
Exactly right. I got some statistics
We're
here.
going to let you. All right, hold on just a minute. We're going to go to Bruce and Grosse Pointe. Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, Bruce.
Yeah, great broadcast. I've been listening since the very beginning here. Hey, these nitwit celebrities that call themselves Unite for America.
Yes.
Did you see that? I mean, my God.
Yes, I watched it. Yes.
Oh yeah. And the thing is they say, oh, well, we stand with you. In other words, stand with these electors they're trying to turn.
Yeah.
Didn't they stand with her not too long ago?
That's right. You notice that, Bruce, that they're trying to manipulate. This is manipulating the process. This is intimidating those people. We should not know who those people are in the first place. And when I found out that one of the people that's a part of that process is Pelosi's daughter.
Oh yeah. And
so she has influence over these people. Go ahead.
And the thing is, the other day I saw one of the Michigan electors on Channel 2.
Yeah.
And he had been reporting that he'd received like 16,000 communications, emails, letters, that sort of thing, and a lot of them were death threats.
Yes.
One lady I understand out in Arizona is an elector, and she was actually threatened with having a bullet put in the back of her mouth if she voted to go along and certify Trump as president of the United States. This just shows how far they're descending, guys.
This
is a scorched earth policy. You're talking about the last 30 days of this administration. If you look at any military action, any enemy that's on the verge of defeat, the worst time to be before they're finally defeated is the last month or two of a war. Look what the Germans did back in the spring of 1945. Hitler was issuing all these orders to tear up railroad tracks and destroy all these buildings, leave nothing for the German people, let alone for the Allies. So this is I think an analogy that needs to be taken to heart.
Oh, absolutely. We're watching it before our eyes. We're watching it before our eyes. This guy's going to do whatever it takes. He's going to. I mean, he believed that he is king. He's not king. His family believed that they know better. They know better than we know. What we want for our country. And so, I mean, they want to undermine this process. He need to be arrested, and his administration need to be arrested for intimidation and manipulation. They're no different than, what's his name again, Phil, who was the founding father of of the Democrat Party, of that intimidation?
Pitchforks
Ben Tillman. He said he did whatever it took to manipulate that vote. And that's what he's
by the rope.
By the gun, by the rope. And so, and this is what they're doing today. He is no different than Pitchfork. But then this is the legacy of the Democrat Party, so you don't think none of it. But this is serious.
Well, and if you look back through history, you'll find that the Democrat Party, if you want to talk about criminal organizations, everybody's talking about the mafia.
Yes.
But the Democrat Party is the oldest and largest criminal organization in American history. Look at one of their founders, Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr was a murderer.
Yes, absolutely.
My God, look at Andrew Jackson. What he did. They talk about how the Native Americans have been so mistreated at the hands of the Republicans, but it was the Democrats.
All right, thank you, Bruce. And we got to go to a break. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay,
all right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, Merry Christmas, folks. We'll talk to you on the other side of the break. Enjoy this right here.
Did you know that your baby boy will one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? this child that you delivered.
You're listening to the Abolitionists Roundtable, patriotic, red, white, and blue, conservative all-access radio, with your hosts, Del, Phil, and Janice. They're leading the charge in advancing the conservative revolution. Join the conversation at 734-822-1600.
Hello, I'm Milt, and this is Logically Speaking Uncensored, an open letter to President Obama and the Democrat Party. We the people demand a public discussion on race. Since the 1960s, the Democrat Party has been purging evidence of their evil mistreatment of blacks by reinventing themselves as civil rights saints fighting racial injustice. This reinvention allowed them to excoriate white people not of their tribe as racist, especially if they criticize their black Democrat tribe members. United States Attorney General Eric Holder in 2009, during a Justice Department Black History Month event, said, "When discussing race, America is a nation of cowards." I rejected Mr. Holder's allegation and condemned him as an unadulterated liar. Today I challenge President Obama and the Democrat Party to prove me wrong by convening without delay a national discussion on race. Because Herr Holder's remarks were crafted to imply that Democrats are innocent of racism. However, President Obama and the Democrats utilize the race card consistently as a political weapon to achieve power and election victories with fraudulent and unwarranted accusations about racism. Therefore, we the people welcome a national discussion on race, but with a caveat that the forum include historical facts and documented truth that chronicle events without the benefit of political correct revisions. An honest discussion on race will reveal that the Democrat Party perpetuated and proselytized people into believing that beating, burning, castrating, hanging, lynching, mutilating, and raping of blacks was acceptable. An honest discussion on race will reveal that the Democrat Party financed and fought a civil war to preserve slavery, segregation, and Jim Crow policies and laws that required blacks to use separate lavatories, drinking fountains, and eating facilities. And the Democrats sanctioned conventions that denied or restricted employment, housing, gun ownership, and voting rights to blacks. An honest discussion on race will reveal that the Democrat Party condoned using pejorative names to identify blacks as boy, coon, nigger, pickaninny, sambo, shine, spade, and spook. If the Obama Democrat regime sincerely want an honest discussion on race, they should publicly announce the day, date, time, and place whereby notable patriotic Republican historians and credible scholars can attend and expose who has been and still is the masterminds of planned racial and racist animosities. However, Obama and the Democrats are too cowardly to agree to a factual, unbiased discussion on race because such an event would expose their nefarious race-mongering agendas. This commentary is an open letter to President Obama and the Democrat regime that we the people demand and insist on a national discussion on race so the nation can confirm who has made racism and racial exploitations a hallmark for over 150 years. If Obama and the Democrats are not guilty as charged and are not cowards, they will welcome a national discussion on race and let the truth set them free. I am Milt, logically speaking, uncensored, saying, think about it.
All right, thank you, folks. Thank you, Milt, for sending that commentary down. That's Milt Harris from Logically Speaking Uncensored. Later this morning, folks, I'm going to be joining the I'm going to be joining Joshua Trail and be a part of the Abolitionist Roundtable. So listen to me later this morning. I'll be there from 9 to 10 this morning. Matter of fact, Phil will be on tomorrow. What time you on tomorrow, Phil?
6 o'clock, from 6 to 7.
6 to 7 o'clock. So don't forget to join Phil and Reverend Dieter tomorrow. What's the name of the show again?
A Moment of Clarity.
Moment of Clarity. So join Phil tomorrow morning. Tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock on A Moment of Clarity, right here on Wham Talk 1600. All right. So again, we were talking about, and I'm gonna go ahead and end this, and we're gonna spin off into something else. But I want to just reiterate that that this fake news that's trying to create a state media coup against Trump with this administration that's in office right now. Folks, I don't know if you heard about this California professor called Trump election an act of terrorism, And then not just that, then this is the environment, again, that liberals, the Democrats, Obama has created. And so that was on the ballot. This same environment right now that we in, that was on the ballot, and the American people, they seen through that. So it wasn't that they voted for Trump. They voted against Hillary. They voted against this administration. That's what they voted against.
And one thing that is certain, 8 years of Obama, when he first came into office, there was no opposition. The Republican Party backed up and did not oppose him because they were afraid of looking at the opposition to bad ideas as being opposition to Barack because he was black. Yeah. And that put an uneven relationship between the Republicans, who are the opposition party at that point. And it is their job as the opposition party, if they believe that the president is initiating ideas that are against the traditions and the values of this country, they ought to speak out. But they couldn't speak out because of this idea that that instead of opposing him because of his ideas, they were opposing him because of his skin color.
And what they could have did to strip him of that kryptonite that's around him, I don't know why they didn't use this strategy. And they could have sent somebody out, to help with this strategy. You could have over and over called him what he is. He's half black. He's the first half white president. Yeah. Call him half black. He's half white too. Yeah. But appeal to his half white side. Hey folks, I'm not criticizing his black side. I'm criticizing his white side. He is half white. Now hold on. Exactly. Now the blacks would say, well, hold on. Well, I can criticize his half black side. Yes. He's a biracial person. So, but when they gave him that label, that African American, oh man, it was nothing at that point that you can do. We got to strip him of that right there. Strip him of that. Strip him from that kryptonite and make him take responsibility for his action. And one other thing that the American people that was on the ballot, American people watched him drop off $1.7 billion to Iran. That was tax funders' money. Yeah. He don't have no money. It's a community organizer. And he ain't got no. Where he find that money at in the first place?
Through money laundering.
He got it from Hillary Clinton. Phil, he didn't write him a check and take it over and drop it off. No. He sent over there, folks,
pallets of money.
Pallets of cash.
Swiss francs. American dollars.
And so that was on the ballot. Was on the ballot.
Euro, what do they call them? Euros?
Euros.
He had all kind of. This was a money laundering operation.
Absolutely. And so that was on. And then he continued to lie about this. Continue to lie about it. Continue to continue.
The only other people in this world that operate in cash
are drug dealers and the mob.
It's the mob. So.
And now we can add the President of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama, and with the assistance of fake news, the Clinton the Clinton News Network helped him. They helped cover it up. That's why CNN is losing their ratings. Matter of fact, one of their commentators, if you don't mind, Derek, playing soundbite 301, one of their commentators, wait, once he get off the phone, we're going to listen to something one of their commentators said.
Before he goes, I mean, if you try to take more than, what is it, $1,000 cash money out of the country, you try to take $1.5 billion
oh my goodness
money out
my
of this
goodness
country. And see how many monetary agencies come after you.
That's right. Yeah. Matter of fact, if you go and do business somewhere and you bring more than over $10,000 in cash, they filling out something, sending it to the IRS, letting them know that you just did an exchange with over $10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the kind of. Here, let's go to Gary. Good morning, Gary. Gary from Hazel Park. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Phil and Bill. Merry Christmas to you, Joe.
Merry Christmas, my friend.
You know, you guys are 100% right on all your points. You could easily write a 1,000-page book on all the failures of Barack Hussein Obama. And this man is walking around blaming you guys.
That's right.
Radio for all this failure.
That's right.
He's a despicable human being. And I can't think of any historical figure in the last 150 years that has done so much damage to this country. And you are right. He should be arrested. The charges against him would be endless. They would be epic. And still, the Democrat Party tried to protect him. The media tries to protect him. And so they're complicit in this.
They are complicit.
We are free at last. Free at last.
We are. We're getting close to getting free at last. We're getting close.
Yeah, he's still got a few.
He's still got a few. And you notice that Trump is very careful about what he say.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And he you know, folks, we got to look at it. We got to be honest, and we can't tell the news media, but. Trump is saying all these nice things about Obama because he knows that we really live at a real, we're walking on eggshells for the next 30 days. So he's being real careful. Is this guy trying to create a war with Russia? Russia is only going to take so much.
Remember, he's told everybody he knows the nature of the snake.
Because we talking about Vladimir Putin. He don't ride horses. He ride the bear. he ride a bear. While Obama is running around with his tight pants in June, having all his buddies that's cross dressing. No. Putin ain't having none of that. And Putin is only going to take so much of that from this guy that's a cross-dresser.
Well, listen, you remember that he said just recently that he knew that the Russians were hacking.
Yes.
Well, how long did he know it?
What is that above us?
Okay. That ain't a drone.
One last thing, gentlemen. We are getting together in Royal Oak this morning to celebrate the birth of Christ.
Yes.
And to just celebrate our victory in Trump. So come on by if you guys are in the area.
Thank you very much.
We just might be there.
We might just be there. Thank you very much. But I got it. What time is this event going to happen?
10 to 12.
Oh, 10 to 12. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you, and we'll talk to you. We won't be on next week. The station is going to celebrate Christmas, and everybody's going to have the day off. And we'll see you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Very good.
All right. Thank you. All right. Now we're going to go to. Well, my goodness, I heard a beautiful lady's on the phone, Phil, and this. And I don't know her name, but I'm just going to let her talk and tell us who this beautiful. It just said beautiful lady on line 2. Good morning, beautiful lady.
Well, thank you, Del. This is Janice Daniels, and I wanted to call in and wish you and Phil and our audience a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let me ask you something, Mayor. If Phil and I on the right track about what was on the ballot. It was not Russia that hacked this election. It was the American people that hacked this election. That's who hacked it. Even though in Detroit, and probably we can, if they investigated other precincts, they can find that they stuffed the ballot box too, just like they just recently found out in Detroit. But was it all these things that was on the ballot? The American people are not stupid.
Well, you know what? The Democrat leadership, as far as I'm concerned, is proving that they are well versed in the Cloward and Piven strategy of manufactured chaos. Because at every turn, they are creating a new boogeyman. You know, I'm expecting that they're going to say that the kitchen sink was the cause of Hillary being defeated. You know, we're going to throw the kitchen sink in there because they've thrown every single boogeyman.
You're pretty close, because Hillary said that he had a beef with me. He said Putin had a beef with
Yeah. It's amazing. I actually am not going to be there on the New Year's Eve or New Year's Day show either, because I'm going to be guest hosting for our beloved Pastor Yule on the other side of the Abolitionist Roundtable.
Yes.
I'm excited about that. In fact, I'm going to be interviewing Dr. Sebastian Gorka. I am just so thrilled.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Wow, you had to work hard to get Sebastian. That's a good interview there.
It's going to be a great interview, and I also will say that I am going to make a New Year's resolution today, and that is that I'm going to try my best not to fall into following the Democrats' narrative, because we get so consumed with trying to explain or analyze or defeat what they're saying. I want to be focused on advancing the cause of Christianity, constitutionalism, Republican constitutional, that small R Republican constitutionalism, and conservatism. Those are the 3 C's that I want to focus on: Christianity, conservatism, and constitutionalism.
Well, those are good. Three good.
Can't go wrong there.
3 C's there too. Absolutely. But we gonna, Phil and I was just talking, Mayor. We were saying that the next 4 years, what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue to discredit the fake news. Do you know the news of Obama and his administration and the Democrats are, they beating this drum that it was fake news that created this environment for the American people to win, because it wasn't Trump. Whether it was Trump or was it somebody else, it was the American people that voted against all these things, and the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, it really does. There is no end to this narrative of theirs, and it is so anti-Christian and anti-constitutional and anti-conservative that it just needs to be exposed. I think it's a great idea if you focus on exposing them for the errors of their ways, while I'm focusing on what we ought to be focusing on, the principles that this country was founded
upon. Matter of fact, here, hold on, Mayor. I want you to hear something. This is what CNN, the Clinton News Network, said about Trump. If you can play 309 for me, Derek.
Julia, we're talking about a candidate who's lost in a historic way in terms of the popular vote, but clearly won in the Electoral College. Is this something of a national emergency? And are journalists afraid to say so because they're going to sound partisan?
That's so fake. That's fake news right there. He lost in a historic way. No, he won in a historic way based on the process that we have. It's called the Electoral College, and he won in a historic way, and she lost in a historic way.
And that's the only way you can win the election, is you have to win the Electoral College.
And second,
you see, it's happened before.
Well, they don't like the Electoral College anymore.
Yeah, they won the popular vote, but they lost the election.
That's right.
You can't win the the Electoral College and lose the election. It can't happen. So
That's right. And wasn't it a brilliant concept of our founding fathers?
Yes,
the Electoral College concept?
So that everybody can participate. Not just big states like California, not just big filth states like New York. All she had to do is just go to all the big states, get the majority, and everybody else. Oh well, it's so be it. I'm the president. No, you got to go into every state. You got to go into every county. You have to petition everybody. But instead, she was, at home trying to prepare with her fake speeches with Donna Brazile she already had the questions and answers ahead of time instead of being out there on the campaign trail like Mr. Trump was, working hard and petitioning the people for their vote.
And we better be careful with this refugee resettlement plan that is putting refugees in small cities across the United States, because that could be the Democrats' way of overcoming the Electoral College.
It is, and that's why I said that the real people that are influencing our elections are the people that are sending the illegals into the country.
That's
Mexico, Argentina, all of the countries that are coming through Mexico and walking up in here and walking in here and claiming status, and the Democrats are opening them with welcome them with open arms.
For a while, I was a little bit concerned that Donald Trump was changing his narrative by saying that he was building a wall to keep drugs out, although I think that is also a good idea to keep the drugs out of the United States. But I thought maybe he was softening his message about keeping illegal immigrants out of our country. And then recently he seemed to go back to saying, no, we're going to rid this country of the radical Islamic jihad that is coming upon us. And make no mistake about it, it is radical jihadism that is coming to America. In fact, they have a worldwide caliphate. And we have to stop being politically correct and not saying that. Islam is a religion, but it's also a political ideology, and it's a military ideology.
You make some good points. I heard a guy, I'm just going to use his, but he said that these people, they were having a debate about Islam, and this professor said they're your professors, they're your police, they're your police chiefs, they're your basketball players, Islam, Muslims are. And also they pointed out, they are all these things, and also there are your terrorists. They are also your terrorists. Though we have to add that in. They are your terrorists. We cannot deny, but they are in denial. I don't know if you watched it last week. My favorite guy here at Wham Talk 1600 is Theron, and I noticed that they always sit him next to the guy from CARE. And guess what Theron always do? He speak the truth without fear, without hesitation, without reservation. And so I want to say Merry Christmas to Theron and Linda for giving us this opportunity that we can speak freely and not be intimidated, by the boogeyman that's in the White House, because we're not afraid of you.
And more importantly, encourage others to speak out when they see not injustice, but a threat to this country. That's what you have to speak out against today, and that's what they are trying to keep under the cover, that it is a threat.
I'm so sorry. It's so hard to not interrupt.
No, you're part of this conversation. No.
But one of the things that Dr. Gorka says in his book, Defeating Jihad, The Winnable War, is that every American needs to become an educator. And that's exactly in keeping with what you're saying, Phil. We have to keep the word out there, and thank God there are men like Theron and women like Linda who give people like us and Dr. Janda and
you gotta be kidding.
Yes.
Mayor, you mean to tell me you came on here and you see how fast it took? Did you? push that clock forward?
I did. I'm guilty.
All right, folks, if you don't mind, go to our website, artofmichigan.com. We can use your support for the year end so that we can have a surplus going into the new year. Go to our website, artofmichigan.com. Whatever you can give, it'll be most gracious.
The Abolitionist Roundtable invites the Wham Talk 1600 listeners to continue the roundtable discussions by mailing correspondence to Art of Michigan, Post Office Box 135, Garden City, Michigan 48135.
Or follow Phil, Del, and Janice at artofmichigan.com. You can also send emails to artofmichigan@hotmail.com. And most of all, continue to listen every Saturday and tell a friend.